Thank you, Shiv. Hi all, welcome to today's 30 minutes Tuesday session. So the topic for today is orchestration in Salesforce IoT. So before moving on to the topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Jitisha. I'm a software developer, Salesforce software developer. And talking about my hobbies, I like reading, drawing, and also interested in doing some crafts and all. So let's start with the topic. Uh, So today we are discussing about the orchestration in Salesforce IoT. So what basically IoT is? We all know we are in an era of digital transformation where not only the people are communicating with each other over the internet, but also our gadgets, appliances, everything are communicating with each other in one or another way. And this gives a space for IoT. IoT stands for Internet of Things. It is an ecosystem in which physical objects are connected to each other and communicating to each other over internet. It helps to perform various operations like sensing, analysis, and control mechanism. It helps for real-time insights and analytics. Salesforce, IT uses sensors in platform in physical objects like vehicles, wearables, equipments, etc. to gather data, and that data will be transmitted over the internet. Now let's discuss about the Salesforce Internet, Salesforce IoT. So Salesforce IoT will have a set of connected devices, and this device will communicate with Salesforce using platform events. This platform events will be pre will be eval will be processing these platform events using a set of predefined rules and logics, and which will perform a particular action. So it works through creating events, rules, actions, conditions, and orchestration. Now let's discuss about some key concepts of Salesforce IoT. As I told earlier, from the connected devices, the platform event will be received to the Salesforce IoT. And we will be having a context that will map the same platform events with the Salesforce objects. On top of the context, we'll be creating orchestration, which includes some set of predefined logics, and that will trigger a particular action. Now, let's discuss deep about each of these topics. So, a context. A context allows an event to talk with the right data in our Salesforce CRM. That is, it maps the incoming event with the Salesforce data. A context specifies the data on which an orchestration can access. Now we can discuss about what an orchestration is. An orchestration contains the business logic that transforms the incoming stream of platform event data into an engaging customer experiences using a set of predefined rules. So it can specify a state of the particular device or the people can be. Now we can I'll explain about what the rules are. So inside the orchestration, we can specify certain rules. That is actually the business logic that is carried out on an incoming event. A rule includes conditions, actions, and drives a transition to one to another state. So state is in fact different stages a particular device can be in. Like a device can be in a particular in a particular moment, a device can be in a normal state, and after some time it can move to a defect state. So these are the different stages, states defines the different stages a device can be in. And the rules can be evaluated when an event received, or a state whenever a particular state is entered, or at a specific date or time. When a rule is evaluated and its conditions are met to true, then the associated actions will be executed in a top-down approach. Now, actions. Actions means what action will be executed when a particular rule is evaluated to be true. We can do all these kind of actions like create a Salesforce record, which allows the orchestration to create a record in Salesforce. Read Salesforce record, means it allows the orchestration to read data from the CRM and edit Salesforce records for means enables the orchestration to edit the record in the CRM. Now I will let's have a quick demo. So here we have three objects. The scenario here we will be handling is ours is a solar panel dealer company. So we have all the connected devices in the asset object in Salesforce. So these are the sample devices, solar panels, and we have a simulator here that is used to create a platform event on.
Hey, Jitisha, we
Yeah.
are not seeing the screen. We're only seeing the demo slide.
Okay. Sorry. Give me a minute. Hello.
Yeah, we can see now. Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Um, these are the three objects we are dealing with. So asset is the list of asset object holds the different solar panels connected to our Salesforce CRM, and we are using a IoT simulator to create the platform event. And whenever a asset is moving to a defect state, we'll be creating a case. So for First of all, we have to enable the Salesforce in our org. For that, we have to go to the get started and enable this button here. Then Salesforce IoT will be enabled in our org. Now we have to create a context that will map the incoming platform event with the asset object in our Salesforce. So I have already created one context, but I will show how to create a context. So new context. So these are the different steps we have to do while creating a context. First, we have to choose the object, which object we are mapping the particular incoming platform event. Then we have to specify which platform event we are using to map to this particular object and link the unique field of this platform event to the unique field of this Salesforce object. So here we are selecting the asset object. And for platform event, I have created a solar panel platform event. And we have to map the unique fields of the platform event with the asset object. So here it is a serial number and I'm mapping it with the solar panel serial number so that there will be a mapping with the incoming platform event with our CRM asset object. We can give a name for and finish. Okay.
It cannot have hyphen. You have to use underscore.
Sorry.
It cannot have hyphen. Use underscore.
Okay. And now we have created a context, and so now currently the status is not active because I haven't activated this context. And once if we want to use this context for creating orchestration, we have to activate this particular context. Now on top of this context, we will be creating the orchestration. So I will show how we can create an orchestration. So from here, orchestration, we can click on new orchestration, and here we can give the name and the context on which we want to create this orchestration. So here I have already created one orchestration. So this is how an orchestration page will look like. So this is the traffic view. This will give a visible, a visual, it will help the users to visualize in which state currently the device is. So currently the device which I am using for testing is in defect state, and state are the different possible states for this particular um, device. Like I have defined two states here, normal state and defect state. We can have more than many number of states. And rules. Rules are actually the basic logic that we are applying. Once this rules can be evaluated whenever a particular whenever a platform event arrives, or when on a particular time, or whenever this particular state is entered. On this in all these criteria, this rules can be evaluated. So here I have given a rule, like if the solar panel power watt is less than 50, 52, and solar panel voltage is less than 12, I have created an action here to create a case. So in the description I have given solar panel issue. Asset ID is asset.id. Since we have mapped the asset object with the platform event in the context, we can get the respective assets details, asset records details here. And subject I have given as created by IoT, and asset name is I'm taking from the current solar panel event, solar panel event dot type. So, and also I have defined a transition here. So whenever this particular rule is evaluated to true, this the state of the particular device will be moved from the from the normal state to the defect state. And if when the system is in defect state and the solar panel event power output is greater than 52 and the voltage is greater than 12, then we are moving to the normal state. This is how I have given the rules over here. Global rules are also similar like rules, but once we have defined the global rules, it will be executed first, then the rules will be executed. So we have to, once the orchestration is defined, we have to activate the orchestration. Now I will, so we can see here, currently our device was in defect state. That is the power watt output of the solar panel was less than 52 and the voltage was less than 12. So now we can create a platform event. So this is a simulator. So here we have given the type of this particular solar panel, that is polycrystalline, and the serial number, account, and the city. So here, if we are giving a voltage less than 12, and sorry, we have to, okay, we are giving a voltage greater than 12, and the power watt is also greater than 52. And if we are creating an event, now we could see our device have moved to this normal state from the defect state. Again, now I have given the condition for a defect to occur in the system. So I have given the voltage less than 12 and power watt is less than 52. Now we have to get the defect. So now we can see our system is currently in the defect stage. And since we have given a rule, an action here to create a case, it should automatically create a case with the data we have given. So let's check in the case. So this is the case which is created by our IoT, and we can look inside. So here this case is mapped with the corresponding asset object, and the name is polycrystalline, and the description is solar panel issue. And so we could also use this event center to send an event. If we want to directly test it from here without a simulator, we can use this particular JSON to send a platform event directly to the orchestration. And also to get to keep a track of different events this orchestration has gone through, we can find all those in the event viewer, and also tracker is also there to see the different actions happened in this particular orchestration. So, and also we can get the activity log. In case if any error occurs, meanwhile, if we want to test it, we can check in the activity log also. It will keep track of the different activities happened. And now, okay, is my PPT visible?
Yes.
Thank you. So let's discuss about some of the benefits of using Salesforce IoT. So normally we know that in other systems, orchestration is actually a mountainous task which need a lot of coding and all. So Salesforce IoT helps us to do this with a simple point and click method, which doesn't need much coding and all. And AC visualization, that is from the traffic view, we could simply visualize in which state the particular device is. And smart connected environment, we could connect the platform even with the particular asset object and could keep track of different features of the particular asset in the CRM. And also we can collect data from anywhere at any time. It is like so the system could get the data from any location at any time. But some of the points of concern in here is the security vulnerability. Since we are dealing with a huge amount of customers' real-time data, the chance for competitors to stall this data is more. So we have to take more concern about the data connection security and data security and connection security. Then customers' concerns about data privacy, since the security vulnerability is the chances for customers' concerns about their data privacy is also more. Then flexibility limitation, since we are doing it with point and click method, if we want to implement complex logic, then that will be a limitation for the Salesforce IoT. Now, questions? Hello?
You can go ahead and ask questions in chat or unmute.
Hello?
Because nobody has any questions.
Hi Sibu.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi Jitisa, Anuj here. So I
Hi.
want to ask one thing, that data from anywhere, anytime. So just wanted to understand this statement in detail. So do we have any out-of-box connector available to connect a various device data or any type of data into Salesforce, or how we can bring a data from into Salesforce?
Yeah, we can get the data from different devices over REST API in the form of platform events.
Okay, so do we have to like code anything, or some out of box connector is available for that one? Like if I want to connect with Arduino board or anything, so is there any out of box connector through software or the point and click I can simply connect, or I can do it only with the REST API?
No, I guess we have to code, maybe Python code or something will be required to create the platform event from that devices.
Even. Okay, okay, yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions, team? There's a question on chat. Jyotisha, can you check?
Yeah. Is there- yes, we can use custom objects also. There is no restriction in that. Sorry, the question is not clear. Device could have Arduino. On the limit of data, I'm not pretty much sure about the limit of data since it is like a platform event we are getting. The platform event limitations will be applicable here also.
Okay. Any more questions before we wrap up? Okay. Thanks, Jyotisha, for today's session.
Thank you.